Sir, may I come in?
Please come in.
Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon.
Please sit down.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Akshat Jain,
Yes, sir.
you are from Rajasthan.
Yes, sir.
I see in this application form there is column regarding minorities.
Yes, sir.
You are from one of those communities.
Yes, sir.
Why this information is sought for in this? Do you get any benefit being from minority community?
Yes, sir, definitely. And, sir, for example, the Constitution of India, Article...
No, but what benefit do you get in this?
Sir, personally, I do not get one because there is an income threshold to certain benefits. For example, sir, the Ministry of Minority Affairs, it is giving certain scholarships.
No, I am talking with reference to this service for which you have applied. It is in this form they have sought for this
Yes,
information.
sir.
So
Sir,
does it...
no, sir. No
so
benefit
what is the
for me.
purpose of having this in the form? Like if it is SC, ST, certain benefits are given.
Sir.
But as a minority community, do you get any benefit in this one?
Sir, in this form, as in particular, we do not get any benefit, but suppose, sir, someone who can avail certain schemes by showing this form. For example, sir, there are certain educational schemes of the government.
No, I am not concerned.
Sir, apart from that, I am not aware of exact any benefits.
This was a very late addition to the list of community. How do you view it?
Yes, sir.
Was it required that Jain should be included in the list of minority communities?
So actually the Jain population is only 0.36% of the total Indian population. So based on that figures, the Jain community had demanded minority status, and I think, sir, that was deserving.
Why was it not done earlier? Why should it be demanded?
Sir, because there is a perception, sir, that the Jain community is a well-off community, and because, sir, most of the Jains, they are from the business community, and the literacy rate has always been very high among the Jains. So, sir, there was this perception that they do not need the minority status. But, sir, based on the numbers, I think...
What is the definition of minority status?
Sir, there is no constitutional definition, and, sir, the government declares it, it is the government of India which declares a particular community as a minority, as per Section 2C of the National Commission of Minorities
There is
Act.
no particular definition.
No, sir.
You have said amongst your positions held in college, entrepreneurial development cell.
Sir.
These days we hear a lot about startups.
Sir.
What is a startup company?
Sir, in the Indian context, sir, a startup is a company which has been in existence for the past 7 years, and its annual turnover is less than 25 crores, sir, as far as I can recall. Sir, that in the...
25 crore?
Yes, sir. Sir, as far as I can recall, and sir, that in the context of India, it is a startup. Any such enterprise which fulfills these conditions.
In international context?
Sir, it depends on the country. So, all countries, they have different definitions. Sir, India, I am aware. I am not aware of others.
Does a startup company get any particular benefit?
Yes, sir. Our government has repeatedly been focusing on promoting India as a startup hub. And, sir, we are offering a lot of incentives like tax incentives, easier compliance for the labor laws.
I read a lot about angel tax.
Sir.
What is that?
Sir, actually, it is a tax which is being charged if the angel investment, it is more than the fair value of the startup. So, sir, these angel investments, these are basically initial investments which are made for the promotion for in a particular startup by investors, by angel investors. So, if the government sees that the investment is higher than the fair value of the startup, then such a tax is charged. Right, sir.
Why isn't it a disincentive for the company?
Right, sir. So that
They
is...
are getting some finances which they will perhaps use for development of the unit. So why should it be taxed?
So in fact, that is a problem that most of the startups had highlighted, and sir, the government has right now, it has recently announced that it will not be charging angel tax on a particular limit. So I am not exactly aware of the limit, but a recent announcement was made by the government. So that was indeed a disincentive, and that is why the government has taken this step. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Jain, tell me,
Sir.
Your hobbies include football, fitness, swimming.
Sir.
All three. Very wide range. How is your hobby going to help you as an administrator?
So can I think about it
Sure.
for a few seconds? So my hobbies are related to sports and fitness, and sir, today the government is focusing a lot on promoting sports as well as promoting fitness. So sir, there's the Khelo India scheme, there's the our Honorable Prime Minister, he had launched the Fit India initiative. So as what I believe is, as an administrator with such a background, I can actually promote the development of sports at the grassroots level. And sir, this has a lot of benefits for our students, for our children, and also.
Can you list out 1, 2, 3?
Sir, benefits?
Yeah.
So for example, it helps you to achieve a stability, it helps you to, sir, achieve a physical, proper physical state, and sir, that actually complements your mental health care as well. And sir, it helps you to even pursue a career in sports ahead and make India a sporting powerhouse. And sir, also when you are fit, you tend to pursue all your activities with energy, with certain vigor, and that is also very helpful in all aspects of life, whatever you do. So there are definite benefits.
Are you aware of any law about disaster management?
Yes, sir. So, sir, there is the National Disaster Management Act of 2005, which is the main law, sir. Sir.
And what are its relevant provisions?
Sir,
That stating
right.
arrangement for disaster prevention?
Sir, it has actually defined a proper institutional framework with the National Disaster Management Authority at the top and the same authorities at the state level and the district level as well. And sir, so therefore this proper institutional architecture has been defined. And sir, it has also it has also defined the activities which are to be pursued by these institutions and how to enhance the disaster resilient framework.
How has been disaster defined in the law?
Sir, I am not exactly aware of the legal
Can you list out
definition.
some of the disasters which is mentioned over there?
Sir, earthquake is there, sir, landslides are there, sir, floods, droughts. So these are all examples of disasters.
Recently there was an unfortunate incident in this very area where we are sitting,
Right, sir.
in a hotel.
Sir,
How do you term it? The man-made or natural?
so it's a man-made disaster.
Hmm?
So it's a man-made disaster.
And who is primarily responsible for such a disaster?
So in this particular context, I think it was the hotel management which was responsible.
Why not the administration?
Sir, the administration was also responsible, sir, because
I would put administration in the first instance because they, number one, they gave NOC.
Right, sir.
Number two, they didn't follow it up whether the NOC which is mentioned there, it has been actually been acted upon or not.
You know, today newspaper says that NOC was issued by somebody else, not the area in charge.
Hmm?
Right, sir. So, sir, actually, I think I agree with you, sir. The administration.
Would you call it as a gross governance deficit?
Yes, sir. So, in my point of view, it is a failure from the administrative side, and sir, we need to rectify this. We need to ensure that the enforcement of the laws and the monitoring, it is absolutely robust, so as to prevent such tragedies.
It's very easy to say robust.
Sir.
How do you define robust?
So, because the NOC, for example, in this case, which it had been issued without proper checking of the actual arrangements there. So, sir, that is something which should not be tolerated. Right, sir.
You have been educated, born and brought up in Jaipur.
Sir.
Is it?
Sir.
If I am not wrong.
Sir.
Hmm? Any rural connection?
Sir, actually, my father is from Tonk. He's from a village named Badagaon in Tonk. So we have occasionally visited there. We tend to go at least once a year.
Tell us something about your district.
Sir, Tonk, actually, I have not stayed in Tonk because whenever we tend to go to the village, we tend to go for one day, and that too for religious purposes. So, sir, actually, I am not aware of the district. Sir, I've lived my life in Jaipur, so not in Tonk. So I'm sorry about that.
Akshat,
Sir.
in Pulwama attack,
Sir.
we took certain actions, and then the Prime Minister of Pakistan categorically said that we are ready for war if India
Sure.
takes another surgical strike. Are we scared of Pakistan? Because India repeatedly attacked by the jihadis. They started from 1992, then 2001, 2008, 2016, now 2019. How long we are willing to bear this kind of terror attack from our other side? When it is going to end? And how will it be strong, concrete action?
So actually about the talks of war, sir, we as a country are not scared of Pakistan. But sir, our government recognizes that war is not an option. In fact, sir, the Ministry of External Affairs, it has said that if Pakistan fails to take action against these terror outfits, it will unleash all diplomatic options. So war cannot be an option because sir, we first of all are two nuclear armed nations. Then sir, there is the China-Pakistan axis as well. And so war between two countries is not going to solve anything. It will rather be playing into the hands of these terror outfits who have long desired such a war. So sir, I think war is not an option. And
The
right,
kind
sir.
of action which have been taken by this government,
Sir.
is it enough or it needs further?
So I think it's in the right direction because we must pursue it diplomatically, and sir, our government, it is going ahead with diplomatic isolation of Pakistan. Sir, already we are seeing the benefits because sir, the UNSC, the United Nations Security Council, it is the first time that it has condemned an attack in Jammu and Kashmir. And sir, in fact, China was also on board. It signed that particular agreement. And sir, apart from that, we must obviously enhance our internal security, especially the border management, then the intelligence network, and sir, redefine the standard operating procedure for the convoy movements. And sir, another step we must take is the de-radicalization of the Kashmiri youth. Because sir, obviously the problem...
How to do it?
Sir, we must promote development and we must provide them with proper jobs, proper employment, because sir, whenever you see these development deficit creates this kind of hatred.
And who is responsible for that?
Sir, we cannot put responsibility on anyone. Sir, we are equally responsible. Pakistan is responsible. The people of Jammu Kashmir, sir, they are also a part of this. But sir, rather than pinning responsibility on one, we should take action from our side and we should do all to cater to this particular deficit. And so we are doing. We must scale it up, I believe.
Ajay, caste plays a very important determining role in voting behavior of India.
Sir.
So whenever election takes place, now it is going to be another elections
Sir.
where the caste plays a very important role. Not only in terms of voting, but in terms of giving tickets to the candidate. How long we are going to face this problem? Even the particular chief minister, he appoints his favorite caste from his fraternity as committed post, like an IAS, IPS,
Sure.
till inspector in the different thanas. So this kind of scenario, which is against the spirit of India, don't you think so?
Sir, I understand this point of view, and sir, it is true that our voting parameters are indeed kind of defined through the caste system.
Even the administrative structure is also affected by,
So it is
dominated
affected.
by the caste factor.
So this is caste is something, sir, which has been ingrained in our social setup, and sir, any such kind of thing takes a long time to kind of reverse. And sir, in fact, compared to the past years, people now, voters are basically voting on the steps taken by government. So sir, we are improving on that front. We cannot say that our voter is completely just judging the candidates by their caste. And sir, I think in the coming few generations, obviously sir, it will take time, but we will see change in this aspect as well.
We are celebrating the 150th birth anniversary of Gandhi.
Sir.
And Gandhi, to a certain extent, he also favored the caste system,
Sir, not the caste system, but the Varna system, sir.
Varna system.
Yes, sir.
How is it different?
Sir, there is a lot of difference, sir, because, yes, sir. Sir, actually, Varna system, it defines 4 Varnas. And sir, this was something which was mentioned in our Vedic books. And sir, the 4 Varnas, sir, actually it was a system to give responsibilities to the different sections of people so that the society could cater to the needs and could function in a harmonious way. Sir, these castes, these were added on later and later by, sir,
On the birth.
sir, on the basis of birth, and sir, they were more rigid, and what they did was they actually, sir, imposed a particular restriction on the people. And so there are numerous, more than 5,000 jatis, the caste as we say. And sir, while Varnas are only 4.
Then you denounce the Dalit politics which castigate Manu as the originator of this problem.
Sir.
So do you denounce the kind of politics which is run by different Dalit ideologue?
Sir, denounce, sir, as in, sir, because Dalits, sir, they have obviously, we cannot deny the fact that they have faced a lot of discrimination for a lot of centuries, and that is why, sir, this is their natural response, and I understand, sir. Rather than denouncing, I actually sympathize with their point of view, and I understand that, sir, they have reason to be discontent with the social setup. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Akshay.
Sir.
Akshay Jain.
Sir.
You were Jain Switamvi, Digambari, what is that?
Sir, I am Digambar Jain.
Digambar Jain?
Sir.
Okay. So, good. Your hobbies are this football, fitness, swimming.
Sir.
Football, which position do you play?
Sir, I played at the centre back position.
Centre back position is an important position.
Yes, sir.
Very good. And you also go to swimming for regularly?
Yes, sir. Sir, not for the past 1 or 2 years, but sir, prior to that, I used to swim regularly.
Freestyle, backstroke.
Sir, I know all the 4 strokes, but sir, my favorite in terms of personal favorite is freestyle, but sir, competitively, I am better in backstroke and butterfly.
You go for butterfly as
Yes,
well?
sir.
How many lengths do you make in butterfly?
Sir, I can, sir, competitively, I can swim 50-meter butterfly. Generally, I do.
50 meters only.
Sir, 50 meter is the standard competition wise, and sir, for my training and point of view, I can swim at moderate pace. I can swim around 10 laps easily. There is not a
10
problem.
laps easily.
Yes, sir. 10 laps of 25 meters.
In how many minutes?
So I have not timed the 10 laps, but sir, for the 50-meter one, sir, I used to swim it around 53 seconds. Sir.
But you have good stamina?
Sir, in the pool, yes, sir.
Okay, but generally people say, are you vegetarian, non-vegetarian? You must be vegetarian.
Yes, sir. I am
Again,
vegetarian. Yes, sir.
Right? But people say they need a lot of protein for. How do you see this?
Sir, that is something we cannot generalize, because sir, I am pretty sure there are many vegetarian swimmers out there who will be equally good. And so we in a vegetarian, yes sir, there is a limited protein source, but there
Tell
are.
me why India is not really getting a right place in FIFA or in swimming,
And if you are, let's say, the sports secretary,
Sir.
what are you going to do with this? So that they can be a finalist, a FIFA finalist, or they can be some serious contender for swimming.
So the matter of fact is that the adequate policy and the resource support that is needed to promote these sports, that is sir right now not at the optimum level. Sir, it is definitely increasing, but as compared to say a sport like cricket, the amount of infrastructural and financial resources.
Just tell me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That this is what you're going to do.
So first
Everybody knows the problem.
right sir.
What are you going to do this?
So first of all, I am going to promote these sports at the grassroots level, at the school level. So sir, I am going to set up football camps. I am going to set up swimming centers in the public schools, swimming pools are in the public schools. Right sir, but we have to put in the resources if we want to become a powerhouse in these sports. And sir, then obviously sir, the schemes of the government, that is the Khelo India scheme, I am going to properly implement them. Third sir, I'll tie up with, for example in football sir, we can tie up with the foreign clubs to set up their youth camps here in India, and so they are in fact very interested to do so in India, so we can look at that possibility. And so fourth, we get a team of the sportsmen, of professionals, experts to actually contribute right from the youth level. And so I think these 4 steps definitely come to my mind.
Okay, you are from Rajasthan.
So
What are the pluses and what are the minuses of Rajasthan?
So first of all, let us come to the pluses. So sir, Rajasthan, it has a very incredible heritage and culture, and due to it sir, we have a very thriving tourism sector, as well as sir, a very sense of pride in our culture, in the Rajasthani culture. So second of all, we have a lot of mineral resources because of our desert state. So around 70 major minerals are there in Rajasthan. So third, I believe is that there's a lot of potential for renewable energy, solar and wind both. And so fourth, Rajasthan is a relatively peaceful state. So that is also a plus point. And sir, when we come to the minuses,
But you go for nuclear test there in Rajasthan?
right sir. So sir, nuclear energy is also a part of our energy infrastructure, right sir.
Tell me minuses.
Right sir. So minuses, so the biggest minus is this gender inequality that is persistent in our society. So this can be seen from the fact that sir, the female literacy rate is only 52%. Child marriages are still common in Rajasthan. And so second, when we speak from an environmental point of view, so the water scarcity is definitely a major issue. And sir, the degradation of the environmental resources like Aravali that has been going on, that is a big minus in my point of view. And sir, economically also, I think industrial base we need to improve on that front, Rajasthan.
You are a student of anthropology.
Sir,
You studied at Assam.
sir.
How metropolity of Rajasthan is different than that of Assam?
So there are obviously cultural differences, and so that can be seen from the food habits in Assam. So sir, for example, in Assam they consume a lot of rice, they consume a lot of fish, a lot of meat items, while sir that is not the case in Rajasthan. And sir,
What? Rajputs do eat lot of
sir they do eat, but sir generally you will find that the crops like millet crops like bajra, jawar, sir, and dal bhati churma, obviously these are the main foods of Rajasthan, the pulses and these coarse crops, right sir. So one aspect is that sir. Otherwise also sir, for example in Assam, what I believe is that sir, actually I find both the sets of people equally hospitable, equally humble. So sir, I cannot sir think of major differences between the two.
Why these startups, since you have been working on entrepreneurship,
Sure.
are not coming up the way it is there in Israel, or the way it is there in US?
Sir, I think, sir, in India has seen a startup boom in the past decade. So, because now, right now we are the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, after USA and the United Kingdom. And sir, in fact, the funding to startups has also been continuously increasing in the past 5 years. And sir, right, I understand there are certain issues. For example, sir, regarding the fact that most of our startups are based in the IT sector. While sir, if you see in Israel, they are involved in a lot of fields. In agriculture, they are there. In water management, they are there. So sir, we need to diversify that. But I think we are sir doing good.
Your father, your mother was in police, right?
So my mother is in the revenue service.
Oh, she's in revenue service.
Sir.
Okay, very good. And your father was in police.
Police service, sir. He is
They
in.
said this police law and order is a state subject,
Sir.
and there could be some central intervention. Second ARC said there should be district police as well.
Okay, sir. I was not aware of
You are
that,
not
sir.
aware about this? But do you think there should be district police as well?
Sir, district police, sir, in my opinion, it should come under the purview of the state government only. So, because there needs to be proper coordination, and sir, I think there needs to be a proper organizational setup as well. So, rather than completely reforming this system, we should actually strengthen the current one.
Rajasthan is such a big state,
Sir,
and your government, they devolve a lot of powers to local governments.
sir.
Okay, it is there, Vasundhara Raje's government is also there, this. So, don't you think that power need to be decentralized and it should be there either the district or at the local level?
Sir, power needs to be decentralized, but sir, I think that can be done under the existing system as well. And there should be a proper monitoring mechanism whereby the district authorities, they are responsible to the overall state authority. So we can decentralize powers even in the existing system. Right, sir.
Okay. What are the sources of revenue panchayats in Rajasthan?
Sir, obviously the major source is from the state and central grants that the panchayats have been receiving. Apart from that, sir, the panchayats also levy certain taxes, whoever they can, whatever they can, and sir, grants and aids are mostly there.
So don't you think they generate their own revenues?
So it is very minimal. So that has
What are the
actually been a
source of
problem.
revenues?
right, sir?
What are the source of revenues, own source of revenues?
So, for example, they can charge taxes on the use of public goods like water or like electricity.
Public goods.
Sir, yes, sir. So, like water is there or any access to a public facility. So, these are mostly the sources. And apart from that, sir, they
What
can.
is specified in the constitution?
Sir, it has actually been given, this power has been given to the state governments to devolve to the panchayats. The revenue resources they wish to allocate to the panchayats, that is in the hands of the state government.
So state government, can you name an institutions which devolve the powers to panchayat?
Sir, institutions, sir, as in?
There is any constitutional body which decides or which recommend that it should be some revenue that need to be.
Right, sir. Sir, the Finance Commission and the State Finance Commissions.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Do you know who was the chairman of the last state finance commission in Rajasthan?
No, sir, I am not aware of that.
Okay. How many finance commission have been constituted in Rajasthan?
Sir, I am not aware.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
Please look out.
thank you, sir. Thank you.